So what I'm going to do today is basically demo the entire Done by One CRM. I know that there's a lot of people that are very interested in the AI employee, which it is amazing. We are going to go over that at the end, but I want to start out with a PowerPoint for everybody because what I find in talking to so many different business owners is that a lot of business owners start a business to escape the rat race, to be self-employed, but what they end up doing is just recreating another job for them. And unfortunately, it's a job that you're working 24/7. You can't go on vacation because if you do, your business stops. And that is what the Done by One CRM is going to fix, right? So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to start with a PowerPoint. And let's see. And then we're going to hop into the CRM. So once again, my name is Danielle Damianov. Business.donebyone.ai is the website. You can get all of the information there. There's also videos and tutorials on there on everything that we have to offer, as well as pricing. But I want to start with what are the biggest pain points that business owners have. And the first is leads falling through the cracks, right? So you get leads from all over and you might have them on a sticky note or you put them in your phone or write them on a piece of paper and you're not consistent with follow-up. The second is not having a centralized database, right? So your data is spread everywhere in Google Docs and Excel spreadsheets. You don't have one centralized database for your leads. The third is wasting a lot of time on manual follow-ups, right? If you send the same email to everybody every single time, you should have a template and have that automated. So you're spending too much time on manual tasks, appointment reminders, onboarding new employees, things like that. The fourth is having an inconsistent sales process. So you yourself, if you're a one-man band or if you're a team, you don't have the same sales process every single time with a pipeline and automations and things like that. The fifth is poor marketing or not tracking your ROI. So you might be doing Facebook ads, Google My Business, networking, different things like that, but you're not tracking your ROI. So you don't know what your best marketing tactics are. The sixth is lack of client nurture and retention. A lot of times we're always going after that next deal, but we're not looking at our database as a gold mine and we're losing repeat and referral business because we're not consistently staying top of mind with our current clients or past clients, and we're not asking for that referral business. And then the second is having difficulty scaling without having to hire more people. And a lot of times we know we need to hire somebody else on our team, but we don't want to for number one, either it's going to cost too much, or number two, we don't have the time to train them, right? So difficulty scaling without hiring more people. So let's talk about, before we hop into the CRM, how the Done by One CRM can fix all of those problems. So number one, right, leads falling through the cracks. Our Done by One CRM will capture every single lead automatically, and we set up automated text and email follow-ups so that the CRM is consistent for you. So if you are not consistent, we put everything in place so that the CRM is consistent for you. Track every lead in the pipeline and you'll be able to see the pipeline so you can see what stage every single lead is in. The second is no centralized database, right? So you might have Excel spreadsheets, clients are in your Gmail, they might be in QuickBooks, they might be in an estimating, software. They're all over the place and you're following up with them based on your memory. And that is going to lose a lot of business because your customer data is scattered, right? Your marketing is not consistent. Your sales are random. Your business is on that roller coaster where you have a ton of business and then it's crickets and you have none. And then the other thing is that makes the business not scalable, but it also makes the business not sellable. So I want you to start to think about your business in terms of, if I were to eventually, whether it's 5, 10, 15 years down the road, sell my business, Or if I wanted to pass my business off onto my kids, would I be able to do that? Because if your business is you and you know where everything is, that is not going to help when you try to sell the business in the long run. So the solution is that we have one centralized database where all of your contacts are going to be. We create smart lists based on segments. So like, for example, let's say you're a landscaper, okay? And you landscape certain communities. Well, we can have my community, for example, Bel Lago. We can have every client in Bel Lago segmented into a list. So maybe you want to do some summer special for Bel Lago, and you can target market based on your smart list. We also help tag your contacts for you so that you have laser focused marketing, text, email campaigns going out to your database. So you are now able to build a valuable database. All of your data, which is your gold mine, is all going to be in one centralized database. And this will allow you to be organized. It will allow you to know exactly how much of a client base you have. And it will also allow you to assess where most of your deals are coming from. So the third problem is wasting too much time on manual tasks. If you are following up with people, calling no-shows, following up after jobs, you send an invoice and people don't pay you, right? All of that stuff is manual tasks that is automated with our system. So we will automate all of your appointment reminders, all of your follow-ups. If you send an invoice and that invoice does not get received, the system will automatically follow up with that client for text and email. If you're in insurance, for example, and you reach out to a client and that client does not get back to you, the system will automatically follow up with your clients. For mortgage, if I send a loan application to somebody and they do not fill out the application, after 5 days, my system automatically texts, emails, and leaves a voicemail drop to that client for them to encourage them to do the application. So we do all of this for you. Everything is automated, so you're not manually doing it. And what's also great is that keeps you consistent. So the next problem is having inconsistent sales or an inconsistent process. So when I show you how our pipelines work, when we take on a new business, what we do is we do a business audit. We sit down with you and we say, okay, how is your sales process? What do you do? What are the emails? What are the text messages? How does this work? And then we create your pipeline based on your sales process. So that way we can track every opportunity, set up all of the auto reminders, set up templates for emails, text message follow-ups, voicemail drops, and things like that. The next one is poor marketing and return on investment, right? You don't know where all of your deals are coming from. You're not tracking your sources. Is it a past client? Is it a referral from a family member? Is it a Google ad? Is it Google My Business? Is it from my website? Where are all of your leads coming from? And then once you know where your leads are coming from and you realize, my highest ROI is this, you can spend more time marketing that and get rid of the stuff that is not bringing you any deals. So you're going to be able to, really start to analyze your marketing and spend smarter. The next is lack of client or past client nurture and retention. And I see this all the time. How many times, and let's just take real estate, for example, how many times do realtors, sell a home to somebody, or they see a family member list their home or a friend lists their home with somebody else and then they're mad, right? It's not the friend's problem, it's your problem because you're not consistently staying in touch with your database. So you need to consistently stay in touch with your past clients, ask for the referral business, ask for those Google My Business reviews, and our database marketing and our nurture campaigns is going to help you get that repeat and referral business so that you never miss a sale or never see one of your friends buying from somebody else. And then last but not least, it's really hard to scale without adding more people, right? So two things, like I said in the beginning, you want to hire more people, but you don't have the money. Or you want to hire more people, but you don't have the time to train them. So creating SOPs in your business is so incredibly important. And we have a whole section where you can create your SOPs or someone can create them for you. So when you bring on new team members, they can watch your SOP videos, read your SOPs, and figure things out on their own. So you're not having to train somebody every single time. So let's talk about your new AI employee. And we are going to go over this, like I said, at the end when I show you guys the CRM. But adding staff is expensive. It can be inefficient. How many times do we bring somebody on and they don't work out, right? So then that was a waste of 3 to 4 months of training them and blah, blah, blah. Now we have to train somebody else. That's where your SOPs come in handy. That's also where if you currently have staff, you have your staff doing their own SOPs. So if they ever leave, then you have the training videos of what they've done, right? So hiring staff can also cost you an additional $3,000 to $5,000 a month per person. With our AI employee, that AI employee will take place of hiring somebody else. As well as the CRM. The CRM is going to implement so many automations so that you don't have to hire somebody else to do that for you because the CRM is doing it automatically. The other thing is it's very hard to cover calls after hours or on the weekends. And you miss calls if you're out on the job, if you're a landscaper, if you're in, you own a pool company or you're in HVAC or construction or whatever, and you're on the job and people are calling you to book a job with you. If you don't answer the phone, they're going to be calling your competitor. And I will give you a great example here. So my daughter's graduation party was a couple weeks ago, and when do people have the time to find a caterer or, call about certain things? Typically it's on the weekends. So on a Sunday, I called all different caterers. Half of them never got back to me. One of them got back to me 5 days later. So I went with the only one that got back to me on Monday, right? So how many calls are you missing on the weekends or after hours where the AI can take these calls for you? You're getting Facebook messages, Instagram messages, DMs, all of this stuff. The AI will answer all of them for you. So your AI employee is going to work for you 24/7. They will never take a day off. They're not going to complain. They will answer your inbound calls. They will book appointments for you. They will respond to Facebook and Instagram messages instantly. They will text people back immediately. They will nurture your leads while you sleep, book appointments on your calendar, and it is way less than hiring, 2 to 3 people to handle all of this for you. There's no payroll, there's no sick days, there's no payroll taxes, and they do not complain, no headaches, and they work 24/7. So at the end, when I hop into the CRM, I am going to show you all about the AI employee, but that is not the only benefit. There's a lot of others as well. So if you want to sell your business someday, and I want you to think about this, like I said, I'm in a mastermind called Apex, and one of the guys who owns multiple businesses is super smart. We were in a mastermind, and he said, every business I own, I build the business to sell. Whether you're going to sell it or not, it doesn't matter. So I want you to get into that mindset. Can I sell my business today? If I were to sell my business today, how much money could I get for it? And if I were to implement everything that Danielle is showing me, how much more could I get for it, right? So if you're the one that's chasing leads, managing your contacts, manually following up with people, you do not have a business. I hate to say it, but what you have is you've created a job for yourself. And new buyers are not going to want to buy a job. They want to buy a machine that is going to run with or without you. And that is the key with Done by One. It's getting your business together and it's building that machine that can run without you, that anybody can come in because you are so organized. You got your deals, you got your leads, people, you have your SOPs, and people can just come into your business and take it over. So what makes a business sellable and worth more money? It's a centralized, well-organized database of customers and leads, proven marketing and sales systems that generate revenue, a documented sales pipeline and automated follow-up, processes that don't rely on you being in the business every day, which is huge. It organizes your database and builds an asset that buyers are actually going to pay for, automates your lead follow-up, nurture, sales process, and all of your client communication, gives you a scalable, repeatable system that runs with or without you. And bottom line, if you want to maximize your money when you sell, you have to build the business to sell, not to run on hustle, which is what I see a lot of business owners doing. So Done by One is going to help you do exactly that. We are going to hop into the CRM now. I'm going to show you, a bunch of different things. But if you scan this QR code, you not only can book your free business audit. So with a free business audit, what we do is we will run an audit on your business online. We'll see exactly how you're showing up online. I can't begin to tell you how many people, if I run a business audit, they have different emails, different phone numbers, maybe they move locations, and then all of their Yelp and everything else has different locations for them. We'll run that audit to see how exactly you're showing up online, what needs improvement. And then I have a business audit checklist that I'm going to send to you. So if you scan the QR code, you will immediately get an email with that business audit checklist. And so you want to ask yourself, do you have all of this stuff implemented into your business when you're looking at the business audit checklist? So scan the QR code. You don't have to book your free audit, but you'll at least get the checklist once you scan that QR code. So let's take a look now at the CRM. So I'm going to start with like a dummy demo CRM. This is my husband's contracting company. He just changed, he's like redoing this business. So he just changed the CRM. So there's not a lot of data in here. So I will be moving around into different ones. But if we start with the dashboard, right? This is where you're going to track everything. And actually I can probably start. Oh, let me go back here. Or we'll start with this one. This is another demo dummy account, whatever. So this is where you're going to be able to track everything. And when we sit down with you, when we take on new businesses onto the CRM, we see what exactly we need to track because every business is different. If you're in insurance, if you're in construction, if you're in, whatever, a restaurant catering company, you're tracking probably different metrics. So we're able to edit the dashboard to track exactly whatever it is, you want to be tracking here. Okay. But just to give you an example, we have multiple different pipelines. This is what's going to track all of your different leads with the different pipelines. Your opportunity value, what is your conversion rate? If you have tasks for yourself or your team members, they will be on the dashboard. This is your lead source report, which is awesome. So you can see where your leads are coming from. If you're running Facebook ads or Google ads or anything like that, all of that is going to be tracked here. Your Google My Business profile, that is one of the things that we help you get set up and get more reviews, because if you want a strong online presence and you want your business to bring in deals without, organically, you need that strong online presence, and getting your Google My Business reviews is what will help you get there. So this is the dashboard. This is where we're tracking everything here, all of your KPIs. Your conversations is your unified inbox. This is where all of your conversations, and I'll flip back over here. This is where all of your conversations are going to go, right? And the cool thing is that if people call you, it's going to be recorded in here. So if you're having a phone call through the app on your cell phone, or if you have a virtual assistant, or you're calling directly from the CRM, those conversations are going to get stored here. So you can play them back, which is amazing for training people. If you're training somebody and you want to listen to how those sales calls are going, or if somebody called and you can't remember, what you talked about, it's all going to be there. This is the calendar. So we set up multiple calendars. It syncs with your Gmail or your Outlook. And then if you have different team members, you can see all of their calendars here. This is going to be important if we're setting up your AI employee, because your calendar, which you will also have on your cell phone because we have an app on your phone, but your calendar is where they're going to book your appointments for you, right? You can also see your appointment list here. So if you wanted to look, I just did a dummy test appointment, but if you wanted to see, all of your appointments by day, week, whatever, you can see them that way, or you can see them on the calendar view. The contacts, this is awesome because now all of your contacts are going to be in one spot. When somebody calls into the CRM, okay, it will automatically, see where it says name via lookup, it will automatically put the name that's associated with that particular phone number into the CRM and create a contact for you. Now, we will create your smart list. So with a smart list, you can then, and I'll show you in my, let me see, my done by one. So this is my CRM account. We can see my smart list here. We have unlimited amounts of contacts you can upload. I think I have like over 300,000. If I wanted to go to, the Texas real estate agents, for example, or my email list, I can pull my list that way. I can also pull my list by a tag, by putting a tag in there. And then if I wanted to send, let's say these are all my past clients, right? I can click here, select them all, and I can send a mass text message, a mass email, a mass Google My Business review request or Facebook request, or I can put them on an automation. Where an automation will come in handy is if, let's just say you're doing a summer special and you want everybody to know that you're offering, I don't know, $500 off of blah, 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 whatever. You can do an entire email, text message, voicemail drop automation over the next 3 months and set these people up on an automation. Okay, so this is where the contacts are. I want to show you a couple of things in the contact section also. You can have the owner of the contact, and then you can also have a follower if you have a team. You can create a task. So maybe you need to follow up with somebody because an invoice is due, right? So you send out an invoice and you want to follow up with them on Monday, follow up or the estimate or whatever. Okay. It can be a recurring task or a one-off. You can assign this to yourself or you can assign this to your team so that when they log into their CRM, they're going to see that task. And the other thing about the tasks is that it will text you every single morning what your daily tasks are. So in the app, every morning I get a text message with all of my daily tasks. So I'm going to save that. And this is how you can keep yourself, like, instead of working based off of memory, you're now telling the CRM, okay, tell me to follow up with them on Monday because, I'll probably forget or whatever. This is where you can create your notes, right? On your clients, on your jobs, on anything that you're doing. You can create an appointment on your calendar. All of your documents can be uploaded here. So that way you're keeping everything in one centralized place. And then if you're requesting payments, because maybe you're a general contractor or landscaper, pool company, whatever, you can request the payments directly from here. You can see what transactions this client has done, any invoices, any estimates that you have sent them, right, is all going to be stored here. Now, if I wanted to text them an invoice or email them an invoice, I can go down here and request payment. Right. And then typically what you're going to have in your product section is whatever it is, mowing the lawn, house cleaning, kitchen remodel, whatever it is, you would just select the product. And then you will go ahead, copy it and copy the link and send it. And so they would get a link to pay for their invoice. If you want to send an email, we do a lot of things with snippets. So if you're sending, let's just say you're sending out an estimate And your body of your email every time is basically the same. Hi, John. Here's the estimate for 123 Main Street, da 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 da, whatever. You can, instead of retyping these emails, we help you when we do your onboarding, create all of your email templates and all of your text message templates. So all you have to do is find the right template, click, and click send. The other cool thing is that for both SMS, WhatsApp, and email, you can send it, or maybe you are like doing your office hours and this has to get sent out on Friday. You don't want to send it today. You want to send it out on Friday. You can schedule your emails and you can schedule your text messages to be sent. So this is how you get yourself organized, right? Maybe at the end of every single day, either you or your assistant will go in and say, okay, these are all the estimates that need to be followed up on, or this is what I have to send out for emails. These have to go out next week, and you schedule them. Last week, I have events coming up. Last Thursday, I scheduled out all of my emails for the next 2 weeks, right? So that I can go and live my life and do things and not have to worry about, oh, shoot, I forgot to email so-and-so. I literally scheduled out all of my emails. So this is how you get yourself organized, okay? So that is the contact tab. This is great because you can keep everybody here, and you can also view your task list directly from here, right? So you can see like what your tasks are, what you need to be doing. You can see your tasks. You can see what's upcoming, what's overdue, what's due today. And you can also see your team members. So maybe I want to see what Crystal's tasks are, So if you have a manager, that manager could come in and review the tasks. The next is the opportunity section. This is huge. This is where you are able to see your pipeline. And when we do the onboarding with you, what we do is we ask you what your sales process is from the time you get a new lead until that job has been paid or that lead has been closed. In mortgage, it's new lead to clear to close. What are all of the steps that have to happen? In real estate, it's, take a listing to listing sold. What are all the steps? In construction, it's new lead to job completed. What are all of the steps, right? So we go over the pipeline and figure out what is each stage of the pipeline and what can we automate. Because remember, automation is the name of the game. So every time you move somebody over throughout this process, we can create automations. So let's just say appointment completed, right? And we want an email and a text message to go out to that client when an appointment has been completed. You met them at the house, whatever. We can set up an automation that says, let's say it's Melissa. Hey, Melissa, thank you so much for the opportunity to meet you at your house today. We're really excited to get started. We're going to be working on that bid. We should have it to you within 24 hours. If you have any questions, let us know. Once again, thank you so much. And then maybe you also do a voicemail drop in a text message, right? So that when you move Melissa over into appointment completed, that automatically goes out for you. You don't have to write the email, you don't have to write the text, and you don't have to leave that voicemail drop. It automatically goes out. If you email a bid to a customer, bids are different, right? They're not always going to be the same. So let's just say I'm going to email Melissa a bid. Okay, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to go to email, I'm going to pick my template, whatever it is, estimate, and then I'm going to attach the estimate here. I'm going to send that out. I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to move her over into bid send. Well, maybe here what we have is a text message that goes to Melissa. Hey, Melissa, just wanted to let you know I just sent you the bid. Check your spam just in case. Let us know if you have any questions, right? So these are all automations that can be set up in your pipeline, and you can have multiple pipelines. You can have pipelines for marketing, for, different jobs that you're doing, whatever it is that you want to do. You can have unlimited amount of pipelines and unlimited amounts of stages. So if I go to pipelines here, for example, we can see these different pipelines. You want to add a stage, whatever. I'm just putting something in, job completed, whatever. And I want that to kind of be moved up. This is how easy it is to add pipelines and stages to the pipelines. And then we set up the automations for you. Okay. So this is a great way to look at where everything is, within the system. Okay. Job started, job completed. And this is how you can have a team literally in the Philippines handling all of this for you, right? So instead of hiring, John Smith, who's $20 an hour, you can hire, somebody Mary from the Philippines working on this for you for $10 an hour. Okay, so we're going to go into payments. I'm going to come into the AI agents last. This is if you're a mortgage, which I have an entire other demo for mortgage. So but if you're in an industry that does not have invoices, this part will not matter for you. The only thing that could matter is the DocuSign here, but this is where you can have, if you have recurring invoices, if you have templates, if you have estimates, all of this can be put in here. You can do a new estimate this way, right? So you're keeping track of everything right here in the system. If you have contracts, specific contracts that go out every single time when you start a new job, you can create all of the contracts here. If you have templates that you want to send, they can all be here. The other thing is DocuSign. So if I wanted to get a document DocuSigned, I can import from a template library. Let me actually show you that real quick. Let's say I'm in insurance, right? And I want to send out a proposal. You can create different proposals within here, or just create the one that you use every single time that basically goes over everything that you have to offer. If you're in HVAC or whatever, you have all different templates already done for you. So it's just figuring out what template you want to use, creating it, and then reusing that same exact template every single time. Okay. And then you can also send this to your clients via DocuSign. I'm not going to go through all of this stuff here, but what I am going to show you is the integrations, just in case you do use payment processing. This is what we use. So Stripe, PayPal, all of this is incorporated into the CRM. You can also sync your QuickBooks as well. But if you have a payment processor that is not here, typically we can also incorporate it into the CRM for you. So it's just a matter of during our our setup process, what is it that you use? Stripe honestly is the best for payments, but we can add additional payment processing companies here. So going to I'm not going to get too much, well, I'll come to the automation in a second, but social media marketing is huge. If you're not doing social media marketing, you need to be doing social media marketing. This is where you're going to get a lot of your business. Not only are you going to get a lot of business through social media, but you're going to stay top of mind. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't know what to post. I don't want to post every day, blah, blah, blah. We've got that covered for you. We have all of the templates for you. As you can see here, these are, I'm in my CRM here. You can see these are all scheduled to go out. If I look at my calendar, I personally have a virtual assistant, do all of this stuff, but a lot of these are templates, right? So if I wanted to go and do a new social media post, I'm going to go into marketing. I'm going to go to my social planner. I'm going to go to my social planner templates. And let's just say I'm a landscaper, for example. I don't even know if they have landscaper. Landscape. Yes. Okay. Landscape services, lawn care, blah, blah, blah. So click here. Awesome. I have 25 social media posts that can go out for a landscaper. I just click on continue, and then every social media platform that I have, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, obviously these are still posts, so they're not videos. They're not going to go to YouTube or TikTok. But you create or sync all of your social media here. so that when you post, it goes to everything, right? That it can. If you do a video, the videos will go to TikTok and YouTube. If it's not a video, it's not going there, obviously. But you can now schedule for the entire year if you wanted to all of your social media posts. So you could have those landscape posts going out on Wednesdays. You can have, another post going out on Thursdays. We have templates for every single profession: insurance, real estate, mortgage, business coaching. So anything that you would need, fitness, construction, it's all roofing, it's all in here. So we have let me see, home services. These are all of the different home services ones, right? So we have all of this templated for you. This keeps you top of mind without you having to be top of mind every single time. If you have a website that you love, right, you can add the RSS feeds. So that way, every time a news, some sort of news comes from that website, it will automatically post on your social media. Email marketing campaigns. So email marketing campaigns are huge, right? Sending email marketing to your database. Now we have the Done by One pros. So we have virtual assistants to handle this stuff for you, right? If you want someone to come in and set up your email marketing campaigns for the next 4 months, let's just say, and set up your social media for the next 4 months, we got that covered for you. So don't be like, oh, this isn't what I want to be doing. I just want to show you everything the CRM can do, and then you're going to hone in on the specific things that you need in your business right now. The last thing is Facebook ads. We can run Facebook ads for you, or you can run them yourself directly from here, okay? I'm not going to get too much into the automation, but this is what we handle for you. We create all of the automations for you during your setup. We figure out your sales process, and that way the system is doing this for you. We're keeping you consistent. We're keeping you top of mind. We're keeping you on task. We can even set up tasks for yourself and your team as part of an automation, right? So not going to get into that, but sites, if you have a website, awesome. If you don't have a website, we have a website for you. We also have funnels with calls to action already done for you. So we create those for you. One of the really cool things I was using Bitly before, but I don't need to anymore because we have this link tree. So if you want to have a digital business card that if anybody asks you, we can put your picture here, visit our website, get a free quote, our projects, contact us, whatever you have. And that way, when people ask you for your info, you're sending them your link tree that has all of your information and how they can reach out to you. So we have that. We set that up for you. The only other thing, we have QR codes. So if we're doing marketing and you want them to scan a QR code, just like I had you scan the QR code at the end of the PowerPoint, what happened when you scan that QR code is you fill out a form. The contact goes immediately into my CRM. I set it up so my CRM will immediately email you that business audit. And it will also alert me that I have a new contact in the CRM so I can go back in and call you guys. But anyways, QR codes and then the chat widget. So the chat widget is awesome. If you do not have a chat widget on your website, so we can take this chat widget and put it on your website, or if you don't have a website, we'll do your website for you and put the chat widget on your website. But anyways, we train the chat widget on your business. So I'm going to give you an example of what it looks like on mine because mine is already set up. So on my mortgage website, okay, this is my chat widget. Your chat widget is trained for your business. This chat widget is trained on mortgages. So if I ask the chat widget a question about mortgages, how much does someone need to put down on an let's just say on a primary residence purchase loan, and see if she responds. But this chat widget, we can customize it with your colors. We can change the picture. It could be you if you want it to be. But this is what we put on your website. It can answer whatever questions you have, right? Okay, so here it's telling me FHA loans, conventional 3 to 20%, which is actually exactly right. That's the right answer. So anyways, this we train for your business. What are your hours of operation? If you're in construction, you can have it, answer any construction questions. So the chat widget is awesome. And this is part of your AI employee. So it will help you on your website. The only other thing I'm going to show you here before we jump into AI is on the membership side. Okay, this is where you're creating your SOPs. So like I said before, a lot of times we know we need to hire someone, but we don't want to train them. That's why if you have a team right now, start having them do their own SOPs. If it's on the computer, have them go on Zoom or Loom, use a note taker like Otter or Firefly, and have them record what they're doing step by step. If you're in a contractor and you have someone pulling permits, or you have to go to a permitting website and look for this and blah, 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 do it on Zoom, record what you're doing, and then you're going to create an entire training library so that if you hire somebody, or God forbid you're sick, right, and you can't do it, well, who's going to do it for you? So start creating those SOPs in your business. It is so incredibly important because this is where you can direct people to go. Quite honestly, if you even wanted to do it for your personal situations, like this is how I do whatever, right? You can have a whole other little SOP for whatever it is that you need to do. So start creating your SOPs. And then the reputation and the reporting is last. So this is where you want to grow your online brand. We do have something called Yext, which is an additional $70 a month. That really supercharges your SEO online. But this is where, for free, basically, you're sending review requests to your current clients and past clients. When people come on the CRM, this is one of the things that we do is we get your Google My Business set up if it's not, and then we get your review requests for you, all using AI. And we can also auto post anything with a 5-star or above on all of your social media, as well as respond to everybody's posts. So we have Google My Biz or Google Review AI. So it will literally respond to the post. You can give it a couple of different things that you want it to say, like, thank you so much, it was great working with you, or whatever, right? So it will auto respond for you. So sending out those Google My Business review requests is huge. And then the reporting is also huge, right? So figuring out your call reports, how many appointments did I have that, didn't pan out or whatever. So we can run all different reports for you. And this is really tracking your business. So let's hop into the AI agents. When it comes to AI, this is your AI employee. As I mentioned before, when I was calling for my daughter's graduation party, nobody picked up the phone. Obviously, it was a Sunday, but that was the only time I had available to, call all of these places and get more information on catering. As I mentioned before, half of them didn't call me back. Actually, almost all of them. One called me back 2 weeks later. One called me back. This was on Sunday. They called me back on a Wednesday. And then one called me back the next day. Guess who I went with? The one that called me back the next day, right? I don't have time to call 5 million people and juggle all of this stuff. The same thing is happening to you. If you're in insurance, construction, real estate, or any business, and somebody needs something, we are in the age of instant gratification. If somebody needs something and they call you and you don't answer, guess what they're doing? They're calling your competitor. So if you can have an AI agent that answers the phone for you 24/7, always follows up, always gets the information, and then that AI agent can either book an appointment for you, right, immediately, as well as text the client back immediately with the booked appointment. How many more deals can you close if you have somebody doing that for you, right? When it comes to, the voice AI agents also, maybe you're in a business, like for me, I don't book appointments. Like no one needs to book an appointment with me for mortgage. So what happens then is immediately I get an email transcript, and I can also get a text message as well, that I have that my voice AI just handled another call. So I can review the call and determine, do I need to call them back immediately? Is this something that can wait until Monday? Do I want to send them a quick text? And the other thing is that even though it does sound like AI, right? Now, we are working on getting better people that don't sound as much like AI, but even if it sounds like AI, if somebody has if I have a conversation with someone, even if it's AI, and they ask all of the questions that a normal person would ask, I feel like I had a conversation with somebody. So the odds of me calling somebody else after that, when the AI says, we're going to have someone reach out to you immediately, the odds of, me calling your competitor or another competitor goes down tremendously, because like I said, I don't have a lot of time and most people don't, right? So I got my questions answered. Someone's calling me back. I feel good. So that is how the voice AI works. I'm going to show you in a second. We're going to listen to a couple of calls. The conversation AI, this is another one where it will literally respond to your Instagram, your Facebook. I had this doing it on my mortgage. It was texting people back and forth. And I was like, I didn't realize at first that I had it set up to do that. And I'm like, who is texting my clients? Because I was in the conversation and I'm watching this text message go back and forth. See right here, that's AI, right? So this says conversation AI is active. So if somebody, this is me, but if somebody, was texting back and forth, texting right now, AI is going to answer that text. As I mentioned before, and you might have forgot, once you hook up your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, or whatever, all of those conversations are going to end up in here. And your AI, if you want it to, is going to answer your Facebook, Instagram messages. Okay. So going back to the AI agents, that is what the conversation AI is. The content AI is if you are doing social media, right? And you don't know what to post, just like ChatGPT will do all of your social media posting for you, we do it for you right in the CRM. It will do text, it will do images, AI will create a funnel for you. It will create a webinar for you. It will create automations for you. It will basically you tell it what you want it to do, and it is going to do it. So how does the AI know what to do? Well, we train it, right? So we have different knowledge bases for AI. So this is Stefan's account. He calls his Mr. Know-It-All. And if I go into Mr. Know-It-All, his is on construction. So he uploaded websites that he wants the AI to get the information from. Okay. You can also upload FAQs or type in your FAQs. So if you have specific FAQs that you want, like what are your hours? Like, what are your hours of operation? And then you can say Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, whatever. You can put your FAQs here also so that it's specific to your, specific to your business. The other thing that you can do is upload files. So like a Google My Business or in the web crawler, right? You can upload your Google, I'm sorry, not Google My Business, Google Doc, right? So let's just say that you have a Google Doc with all of the information on your business, or a Google Doc that you want all of the AI to know. The reason why I suggest doing it in a Google Doc is because every time you want to make a change, all you got to do is change the Google Doc and it will change it here. So this AI is trained on all of these different websites. So if you call, if you email, if you text, it's Facebook messengers, all of that, this is where it's getting trained from. You can have multiple AI agents, where you can have different AI agents for different things, and then you just create different knowledge bases for each thing. So if I go back into the voice AI, I'm going to show you a call that we did yesterday just to test it to show you guys. I was also, my parents own a restaurant supply store, so I did one for them. And unfortunately it didn't record, but it was a pretty good one. So I wanted to show it to you, but for whatever reason, it didn't record. So this is the dashboard real quick. Okay. I'm going to show you two different calls and how they were handled. I called the number, the BG contractors. Sabine answered the phone, and then you get a summary of the call. You also get the call transcript. So this is basically what you get in an email. So once the call is done, you'll get the email. You can also tell this what you want it to do. So after the call, when we set up your AI employee, what do you want that AI employee to do? Do you want them to book a calendar appointment for you? Do you want them to, have somebody call them back? What is it that you want? Do you want a workflow to trigger, right? Like you can have them go into the CRM and trigger all of these different automations and workflows. So we can set up your AI employee to do whatever it is that you need it to do. Well, let's listen to the call recording. So you guys can kind of see how this call went. And then I'm going to show you the next one because Sabine is bilingual. So we'll look at that one in a second.
Hello, it's a great day in paradise. This is Sabine with BG Contractors. How can I help?
Hi, I wanted to get a quote for a kitchen renovation.
Awesome. Kitchen renovations are exciting. Could you tell me a bit more about the project? Like the size of your kitchen and any specific changes you're planning?
I wanted to do a full remodel, so I need all new cabinets, countertops, appliances, things like that.
Got it. A full remodel sounds fantastic. To give you a quick ballpark estimate, could you share the square footage of your kitchen?
I'm not really sure of the square footage. It might be around, 500 square feet.
No worries. 500 square feet gives us a good starting point. For a full kitchen remodel in Florida, you're looking at an average of around $100 to $200 per square foot. Would you like to set up a time for our team to discuss this further?
Sure.
Great. Would you prefer a phone call or an in-person appointment with one of our project managers?
Who's the project manager?
I stumped her.
I'm not sure who the current project manager is, but I can assure you that our team is top-notch. Would you like me to set up an appointment for you?
Sure.
Great. Would you prefer a phone call or an in-person appointment with one of our project managers?
I'd rather them call me first.
Perfect. Could I have your full name and the best phone number to reach you?
Sure, it's Danielle, and the number is 239-555-5555.
Thanks, Danielle. Just to confirm, your number is 239-555-5555. Could I also get your email address for appointment details and updates?
Danielle@gmail.com.
Got it. Just to confirm, that's DANIELLE@gmail.com, right?
Yes.
Awesome. You're all set. Our team will reach out to you soon to discuss your kitchen remodel in more detail. Thanks for reaching out, Danielle. Have a great day.
Okay, so Stefan just trained this one recently, so there's still tweaking that we have to do. And I personally am probably going to change Sabine because she's a little too, I don't know. So we can change, it could be a guy, it could be a girl. We have so many different AI employees. And I really wish the one that I did for my dad had saved because with him, she knows the team members, Smitty, Charlie, Justin. So when I said, who's the sales rep? She's like, it's Smitty, Charlie, and Justin. I can have Smitty or Charlie or Justin give you a call back. So we can train this a lot better, but this was just set up recently. So she's pretty good. I mean, so this is the one in Spanish, and this is what okay, I don't speak Spanish, but I tried. So this is the one in Spanish, and this is what I want to point out with this AI employee, because so many of us, especially in Florida, have so many people that speak Spanish, but we don't, right? We don't speak Spanish. So what you can do is that when the AI answers the phone and it's a Spanish speaking person, we can trigger a workflow for that call to automatically get directed to the Spanish speaking person on the team. So that Spanish speaking person on your team, whether it's, whether they get a text message or an email or whatever, and there's other languages. I'm just using Spanish for an example because that's the second most widely spoken, language here. But you can set it up so that it will go, or maybe you have a virtual assistant on your team that speaks Spanish that can handle those, calls or translate or whatever. So this is the Spanish call. And
Hello. It's a great day in paradise. This is Sabine with BG Contractors. How can I help?
Hola, ¿habla en español?
Hola. Sí, claro que sí. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte hoy?
Perfecto. Yo necesito un presupuesto para un techo nuevo.
Genial. ¿Estás planeando un proyecto de remodelación o es para una nueva construcción?
Nueva construcción.
Perfecto. Una nueva construcción. ¿Podrías darme tu nombre completo para que podamos seguir adelante?
Me llamo Danielle.
Gracias, Daniel. ¿Podrías darme tu apellido también?
Damiano.
Gracias. Daniel Damiano. ¿Podrías confirmarme tu número de teléfono para que nuestro equipo pueda contactarte?
786-359-8888.
Perfecto. Entonces tu número es 786-359-8888. ¿Es correcto?
Sí.
Genial. Ahora, ¿podrías darme tu correo electrónico para enviarte los detalles de la cita y cualquier actualización del proyecto?
Danielle@gmail.com.
Gracias. Entonces es DANIE @gmail.com. ¿Es correcto?
Sí.
Perfecto, Daniel. ¿Prefieres una cita por teléfono o en persona con uno de nuestros gerentes de proyecto?
Por teléfono, por favor.
Entendido. Vamos a programar una llamada telefónica con nuestro gerente de proyecto. ¿Hay algún día o hora que te venga mejor?
Okay, gracias.
I was like, I don't know what you're saying. Anyways, okay, so that is it in Spanish. So that, it's awesome because if you are losing business due to not being able to speak Spanish or another language, we have the AI to literally take the calls for you and then transfer them to somebody on your team, or like I said, get an AI, get a virtual assistant that can handle those for you. And we have we have Done by One Pros. So we do have the virtual assistants for, the people that are on the CRM. So agent details, this is basically like, I'm just kind of showing you the setup, right? We eventually are going to be able to make outbound calls. So you can literally have the AI call, make the outbound calls, confirm your appointments for you and things like that. This is where he has Sabine, but you can pick, mine is Jessica. You can pick, a whole bunch of different ones. In the advanced settings, okay, idle time reminder is after 8 seconds. She's going to say, hey, just checking in, blah, blah, blah. That's too long. I'm changing this to 3. And the agent goals is where we set all of this up for you, right? So we go through and we prompt the AI on what it is they're supposed to be doing. How do we want them to talk? What is the tone that we want them to talk in? Like, she sounds a little seductive to me. I don't know, but I think we got to change her up a little bit. Anyways, um, so this is how we basically kind of, tell them if we want them to spell it out, like Karen, Karen, or An, or whatever. Like, you don't have to do it like that, but we just kind of go through how do you want them to answer the phone, right? So it's not the same for every business. We figure out what it is you want in your business. How do you want them to talk? Do you want a girl? Do you want a guy? Do you want, and then after the call, what do you want them to do? So here we have extract email, address, phone, but we can also, if we look here, have them book an appointment. We can have them send a text message while they're on the phone, right? We can trigger a workflow, or we can transfer the call. So if you do have, let's just say, that Spanish employee that works in the office or whatever, we can have them while they're on the phone say, give me a minute, let me transfer you to Smitty, the sales rep, or whatever. So we can do a call transfer. So these are all of the different things that the AI can do afterwards, okay? The phone and availability. When do you want the AI to pick up? I have my AI picking up right now for my mortgage business whenever I don't pick up the phone, right? I don't want to lose any business. I don't want to lose any deals. So if I don't pick up the phone, my AI employee is picking up the phone. So this, Stefan has working hours for the agent. If I were to go here, then that agent is working 24/7. That's how I have mine. I want it working 24/7. If I don't pick up the phone, the AI is picking up the phone. All of the phones that come through the CRM go to direct to my cell phone. So you can decide where you want those calls forwarded to. And then in the dashboard and log, this is basically where all of, the calls get stored. You have the summary of the call, you have the transcript, you have the call recording. So all of that is here. And then real quick, I kind of went over that, but in the agent goals, if you have different knowledge bases or you have different AI agents for different things, you can have an AI agent handle, if you have multiple businesses or you have multiple areas in your business that I want this AI agent to specifically answer this, and this AI agent to specifically answer that. This is where you pull what knowledge base do you want that AI agent to pull all of the information from, okay? So that is the voice AI. This is the entire CRM. I mean, we have so much, there's like over 140 different things that it can do. What I tell people to do is whenever they come on the CRM, we have the initial call. We kind of go through everything and determine what is it that you need in your business immediately. What do we need to implement in your business immediately? And we work on that. We know we have all of these other things at our disposal at any time, but let's focus on what is needed now. And then once we get that down, because this should be, not a sprint, right? This is a long-term game. Or as my coach says, you have a checkers game and a chess game. This should be chess, okay? So it's strategic. It's taking time to figure out what do you need in your business? What can we fix now? And then we build upon it with all of the other tools that we have. So I want to open it up to questions. I don't know if anybody has, any questions. Let me see. I want to make sure. So I just opened up the question section. So does anybody have any questions or comments or anything that you want me to go over or see again? As I mentioned, this is recorded, so I will be sending out the recording to everybody because I know this was not the best time for to 11:30 on a Thursday. A lot of people are busy, so I will be sending out the recording. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I knew it was going to be about an hour. And if you guys want to book a call, seriously, this is probably going to be the biggest game changer in your business. It has completely changed mine. You can run your entire business from your cell phone. So you can literally, when you're doing like when I showed you guys the pipelines and the opportunities and stuff like that, you can change all of this from your cell phone. So if you're on a job, right, and you want to move bid sent to customer or whatever, you do it from your phone. And when you do it from your phone, all of the automations that we set up are automatically going to, going to happen for you. So the way that this works, and we're probably going to be having like a little promo special for the summer, but it's a $2,500 setup fee. It's $497 a month. That includes literally all of this stuff. And the $2,500 setup fee is for us to build this out for you, to customize the CRM for you, to set up all of your automations, to set up your AI agents, to basically literally customize all of this for your business so that it works for you. Because a lot of CRMs out there are just a one size fits all, and you have to make your business fit within that CRM. It's not like that with this one, right? We are customizing it for your business. So if you guys have questions, please, if you didn't fill out the business or fill out the form for the business audit, I will go ahead and, make sure that everybody that signed up for this webinar gets the replay as well as the business audit, because that checklist is going, not the actual business audit on your business, it's a business audit checklist, which is going to be so important for you to take a look at and say, okay, does my business have all of this stuff? And I just want to stress that the way we have been doing business in the past and the way we're going to be doing business in the future is completely different, because AI has now changed the game. And if you are not using AI in your business, you are going to get left behind, right? Because AI is going to be able to do a lot of things quicker and faster. It's not replacing, it is replacing people, but what it's also doing is helping you grow and scale your business so much quicker, so much faster, and so much better. So get in on the AI game. Let us know if you have any questions. Once again, thank you so much for sticking around here, and I will be sure to send out this recording for you guys, and I'll send out that business audit too. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.